Well, joining us this morning to take a look inside the debate is David McCuan, professor of political science at Sonoma State University. David, good morning. Once again, thanks for being here. And, you know, we know people watching or even in the room probably felt Breed's absence on stage. So if you were at home watching as a voter come November, did she really leave enough room by her not being there to sort of pave the way for someone else to come out on top?
Well, I mean, look, you've got these three insiders, one outsider on stage. They all have a lot of resources or experience or a combination of both. And that does push against the upper limit for themselves, but also threatening Mayor Breed. But because of the ranked choice voting system, head to head, someone like Mark Farrell, gets there on the first ballot against London Breed, but it's not about the first ballot. It's about where you are on the second or third ballot. And that's where someone like an outsider like Daniel Lurie can find some space. Asha Safai is probably on the outside looking in. And Aaron Peskin, despite years of experience and really the only kind of true progressive in the race, he has a path, but that path is kind of on the outside. But it's that second and third place, that second and third choice, moving into the next set of ballots, that's important. London Breed, therefore, has an opportunity to stay afloat, if you will, to stay ahead and then move because she's incumbent and despite the issues around crime, housing, and the direction of the city and the general tenor of what's going on. That will make another debate, the September 19th debate, hugely important. She'll have to be there at that debate.
Yeah, and you bring up the issues, the homelessness, the crime. Obviously, safety was a really big topic of conversation during the debate last night. So a lot of the narrative, even we hear this nationally, is that people want actual answers. They want plans. They want to know what you're going to do. They want to know how you're going to put all these things into action. So after seeing the candidates last night, was there one who sort of stood out, maybe giving some of those answers to potential voters?
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're Daniel Lurie and you're talking about your business record and you don't have City Hall experience, voters, if they're looking for change, if they're looking for a refresh, that's a message that can resonate. But that's a tough message on specifics because you're also having to get the machinery of City Hall to move. And that's where someone who's been a previous mayor, like Mark Farrell, for example, who's been involved in the board, like Aaron Peskin, can have a way forward. The problem is you're going to have to corral a lot of votes. You're going to have to build tenable or workable coalitions. Mayor Breed understands that, and therefore it does give her some running room if she can push back. But Daniel Lurie, is going to double down on resources. That's going to happen with Mark Farrell. Pay close attention there. And Aaron Peskin does talk specifics. He talks a lot about opposing, for example, homeless sweeps. He talks about the units of housing that he's passed. Safai is certainly pushing back against the mayor, but that's probably not enough for those two as kind of, District 2 and on the Board of Supervisors, respectively, doesn't probably help them enough in this change-oriented election. Could help them moving down, if you will, related to what is going on in terms of the ranked choice voting system.
Okay, so as we look ahead, we still have 50 days left plus-ish. So what you're saying, so a couple of takeaways from this conversation is Mayor London Breed should attend the September 19th debate. That might be a game changer for her. And then is there a front runner in last night's debate, or do you feel like this is still kind of anyone's opportunity?
It is anyone's opportunity. It's anyone's opportunity because of the second and third choice under ranked choice voting. And that means that someone like Daniel Lurie probably has to put in more resources, continue that outsider message. Mark Farrell has to continue to talk about his San Francisco roots, about what's going on downtown. I would look for Farrell to draw perhaps stronger contrast, not just by attacking Lurie, as he did last night, but also by attacking others and kind of going at the mayor and using that as a proxy against the board. That allows him to hit people like Aaron Peskin and certainly Asha Safai. Peskin's got to find a lane, and Safai is on the outside looking in. So that still remains kind of the order of where things are going. Okay. But I would look at this battle between Farrell and Lurie kind of moving forward as the alternative to Breed.
All right, David, thank you so much. We always appreciate your insight. You make me feel smarter every day, David.